Hi there. Today I'm going to be showing you how I break in my clarinet reeds. So every clarinetist, we know sometimes the worst thing and the most difficult thing about playing clarinet is dealing with our reeds. So I just got some brand new reeds in the mail, so I thought I would show you how I break in my reeds. So let's get started. So you're just going to need a cup of water, and I just have a little prescription tube here, and I carry this around with me because it's waterproof. I can put the lid on it and throw it in my case if I need to. So you'll just need a cup of water, some kind of case to hold your reeds. So I have a D'Addario reed case, and it's kind of nice because it has these little rubber things that hold the reed in place, and each of the panels has these little grooves to help the reed keep it from getting warped. And they also come with these humidity packs, which are nice, or whatever kind of reed holder you have. If you just have the reed cases, that works for now too. Okay, so first step, open up your reeds. So I'm not gonna open the whole box. I'm only gonna I'll just do 4 for right now. So there are 10 in a box, and but I'm just gonna open 4 of them. So go ahead and just undo all of them. 1, 2. So I usually do this with, depends. If I have a lot of concerts and playing coming up, I'll do a whole box. If I'm, like right now, I'm not playing a whole lot, so I don't really need that many reeds. Actually, I'm going to do 5, because I'm completely out of playable reeds right now. Well, not completely, but close. So then just take each of them out of their case. And right now I'm in the mountains, so I'm at high elevation, so I'm playing on 3.5s right now. But usually when I'm at sea level, I play 3.5 pluses or sometimes 4s, depending on how strong my embouchure is and how, mostly how strong my embouchure is, but and how good the reeds are. But anyhow, so I'm gonna put them in. I just put them in water, and I do this for about a minute. And then what I do is I watch until I see the butt of the reed start to fill up with water. So it's like a sponge. It has all these pores in it, and I don't know if you can tell that those are starting to get darker, but I'd say it probably takes about a minute so one of them for sure is just already soaked up all the water. This one right here, I don't think you can tell that, but if you look at them, if you just watch it as they're soaking, you can see them all start to soak up water. So ideally, what you want is for them to not soak up water anymore. So you want the reed to be completely sealed before you start working on it, before you start sanding it or really even just playing on it a whole lot. So I'm going to give this like 30 more seconds probably. And what I do is, this is probably about a 2-week process, and so if you want, you should probably always have some kind of reed rotation going on. So these reeds will be good for playing in about 2 weeks, and by the 2-week period, that's also when I can take my reed rush or sandpaper. I'm more comfortable using reed rush to sand them down if I need to, or level them out. I don't go crazy with a reed knife because I'm not that accurate and I haven't done it a lot. So I feel a lot more comfortable using reed rush. It doesn't take off very much at all. I think it even takes off, maybe it takes off a little less than sandpaper. So these, you know what? So now, I don't know if you can tell this, but these are all nice and soaked through. So here's what I'm going to do now. It's great if you have a table, a flat surface that you can work on. I'm just going to lay them on top of my case for now and show you how I do this. So here's the case. So first reed, all I'm going to do is I'm going to suck the water out of it like a straw. So take the butt part of the reed and you'll get to taste reed juice. The other thing I forgot to mention is you should definitely wash your hands before you do this, because we are going to be pulling the water out of the reed. So what I do is I take my thumb and I kind of like squeeze and pull this direction. So what I'm doing is like, it's kind of like I'm squeezing and wringing out the reed, but also what I'm doing is I'm closing the pores of the reed. So I'm just kind of squeezing it and helping to seal up the reed pores. And then I do that same thing on the top, like this. And then I just check to make sure that it's level across. So it's a little bit warped, so I'm just going to take my fingers and straighten it out just a tiny bit. And then I'm done with that. And then I do that to all 5 reeds. Just suck all the water out. And then you're going to do this process for all of your reeds. And now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to leave these in here. I'm going to take them out like this so they don't get too much water in them. And then I'm going to show you what I do at this point. So now, so say I've done all 5 reeds, then I'm going to take them and I'm going to put it on my clarinet, and I'm not going to play much. I'm just going to play an open G to get a sense of how the reed responds. And don't put your ligature too tight, just enough to keep the reed on there. All right, it works. That's good. So that's about all I'm going to do. And then if I find a reed I really like, I will play something on it just for fun. But so that one was fine. It was okay. That one's a little more resistant. Okay, so what I'll do is I go through and I do that to all of the reeds, and then I don't even rank them. At this point, you just want to make sure that, you know, they all play. If one of them totally doesn't play, then I'll just toss it out. And then what I do is I take the reeds, I just put them in my case, and then I'll come back, and depending on how quickly I want to do this, I'll either come back and do it again tonight. So what you want to do is after you put it in here, you want them to dry out. And then every day, so if you make this a 2-week process, every single day you're going to do this until the end of 2 weeks. So when you get to the point where you put them in the water and you take them out, you can't suck water out of them anymore. They're completely sealed up. And so every time when you do this, you're going to soak them, get the water out, seal them up, play a note or two, and put it in your case, and that's it. Do that for 2 weeks, or until the reeds have completely sealed up, until they don't take on water anymore. And that way, when you do finally go to play on them, they won't get waterlogged within half an hour of you playing. So if I take a reed straight out of the box and just play on it, I can play on it for maybe half an hour, but by that point, the reed is soaking up all of my saliva, and so then it's too bogged down. It's what we call waterlogged, so it won't really play anymore. So if you just break your reeds in this way, they end up lasting a whole lot longer, and you can play on them for however long you need to for your rehearsal or for your practice session. And then once you have these reeds to work with, make sure that you keep them in rotation. So try not to play on the same reed every single time, even if it's a reed you really love. I know we all do that, but try to keep them in rotation, and they will last a whole lot longer. And then maybe in 2 weeks, once these are broken in, I can show you how I use reed rush to balance out the reeds. Okay, so have fun breaking in your reeds.